Thank you everyone for being here. I wanted to describe a little bit for you what's happened over the last couple of days. 2 days ago we had an event out to the Walmart on 9th Street in Oshtemo Township. At 12:11 in the afternoon, the Sheriff's Office Dispatch Center received a 911 call, several actually, 911 calls of a suspect in the parking lot have just run over a pedestrian. Deputies responded very quickly, and due to the fact that Oshtemo Township does have deputies working in that area where they have extra patrols through the Sheriff's Office, we had the suspect in custody in about 3 minutes. What's happened is we were given a description of an event where a suspect vehicle was seen in the parking lot racing its engine, and at one point drove directly at our victim. Our victim in this case, the family has been notified, and you have the information on your pieces of paper that we've given you here today that have the picture of the suspect with his name. Again, another name I will never repeat. And we have the decedent down here, Sandy Villarreal. She's a 65-year-old female from Kalamazoo. Was the unfortunate victim in this case. Our condolences go out to that family and friends and anybody that had witnessed that event. There were many witnesses. This is a tragic event, and it's a scary thing to think that there's a person in our community that would take an opportunity like this and cause such destruction. That suspect is in custody. They've been arraigned this afternoon. I believe you've probably been to the arraignment. We asked for an open murder charge. That is what we received. The suspect has been cooperating with our investigators. This is an open investigation still. It's important that everyone understand we still have information that we're requesting. We're requesting anybody that was a witness or has any information related to this suspect or this incident to contact the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office. I'll give you that phone number here in just a minute. But I want to make sure that everyone understands this is an ongoing investigation while the suspect is in custody. He is cooperating, and we have collected a mound of evidence. But we are sure that there are witnesses out there that we still need to talk to. At the same time, if there's a witness out there that feels that they need somebody to talk to, please contact the Sheriff's Office. We can connect you to the people. This was a very raw, tragic event that many people lived, and it's important that we try and take care of our community as a whole. I thank, again, those dedicated citizens. Sadly, when I watched the video, I watched so many lives touched, and I watched where people were reacting as best as they could, and so many citizens started to follow our suspect, because immediately after the damage he caused, the suspect walked away. And as he walked away, he was followed by a dozen people. And they were all calling 911. They were all frantically trying to describe the event, trying to get help. And I applaud those people. And I'm thankful that so many people in our community can just step up and try and take care of another human being. These things are tragic, and they've happened in our community before, and sadly, I fear our future will have more. And we need to stick together. We talk about Kalamazoo Strong all the time, and we need to stick together. We had another very odd, tragic incident at another Walmart yesterday. And that was an incident where there was a juvenile who is also in custody at this time. A juvenile pulled a firearm and pointed at a family inside the Walmart. That case is still under investigation. That suspect is in custody, and we're seeking charges on that suspect as well. The first incident that I'm talking about, we know that this suspect was in other box store parking lots, apparently looking to do the same thing. And so we are asking for anybody in the Battle Creek or Kalamazoo area, that if you have a suspicious occurrence, something that you saw, something that you thought was weird involving a vehicle in that area, please contact the sheriff's office. Our detectives are collecting that information, and they are ready to answer questions and get your information to hopefully help us in our investigation. At this time, I can take a few questions, but please remember that we are a nation of laws, and that it is important that I do not do anything that's going to harm the prosecutor's case in going to trial. And that's why I'm very cautious about some of the things that I am able to tell you. But today I wanted to make sure you had an update to let you know that the suspect has been in custody from within 3 minutes of the incident.
Sheriff, you mentioned before that this was an intentional act. What led to you making that determination?
Again, the witnesses, the eyewitnesses, and information that we have obtained through the investigation led us to the charge of an open murder.
When we looked up his record, it says his birthday was 1984, but in the initial press release, you said he was 32. Is he 37 or 32?
Again, I don't talk about the suspect at this point, and I have no idea his exact age.
As for his possible where he was possibly at prior to Tuesday and looking to do this, was he allegedly in Battle Creek at the Walmart at the Meyer there?
So again, we're not sure. This is information that we believe is something that we're asking people to help us with, and it could turn out that there was no other attempts or incidents, and that the suspect may have never gone anyplace else. But right now, we're looking to make sure, trying to follow up a lead as to those possibilities.
And the family has told me that they believe, they've been told that this incident started over a parking spot dispute that the victim was not involved in. Is there any accuracy to that?
Right now, without going into any greater detail, there is zero connection between the suspect and the victim. Zero connection.
Can you describe the suspect's demeanor when he was arrested? We had several witnesses say he kind of willingly gave himself up, put up his hands to be put in custody. Is this true?
The suspect was taken into custody with zero resistance or any problem.
You said it was a maroon sedan involved. Can you give us the make of the car so we can put that out there?
So we're gonna work on getting that information. Again, I didn't say it was a maroon vehicle. Maybe our press release did, but I will work to confirm any press release information to make sure you guys have accurate information that would help in our investigation.
Is there a reason to believe he had more than one vehicle in his possession or at his disposal, given some possible reports we've been receiving on similar incidents in the Battle Creek area lately?
Right now, those are all things that we're looking at, trying to make sure that we have all the information necessary for this investigation.
From any investigation like this in the past, how does the suspect compare in terms of his demeanor? Does it concern you? How do you feel about how he's cooperative already, given the violent nature of the charges?
You might remember we've had several incidents in our community over the years that I no longer am surprised by the demeanor of anybody, and I try also not to judge their demeanor related to the incident that we are investigating, because everyone's different.
Sheriff Fuller, what do we do going forward when we see these things sort of happen? You said there were like a dozen people that were following him. I'm also always thinking what could have been done to prevent this fatality?
Well, at this point, when we talk about what could be done to prevent this fatality, this is a question that comes up in all of these tragedies. And there's never going to be an answer as to what we could do to prevent these things. We do the best as we can here in this country any longer to watch out for one another. We do the best we can to take care of individuals that could be involved in an incident like this. And if we see something, we try to say something, and know that if we say something to the right individuals, meaning law enforcement, and not Twitter, not texting it to our friend, likely something can be done in advance of a situation. But I'm not standing here today to try and give you any idea that there could have been anything that anybody would have told us that could have stopped this event. We don't know that. But if there is, and people say something to law enforcement, again, not Facebook, not Twitter, not some device to their friends, law enforcement will investigate these things. And that's where we're at today, still trying to investigate a crime that is a tragedy and that our whole community suffers.
You said there were further people you're hoping to talk to in this investigation. Who in particular?
Anybody that was there that is not on any of the views that we have from any cameras, anybody that has not made themselves known to law enforcement, and anybody that would have any information related to our suspect in this case.
Does this appear to be a road rage incident, and if so, can you speak at all to about what prompted this, or what appears to have prompted it?
I'll say it one more time. There appears to be zero contact between the suspect and the victim, zero relationship between the victim and the suspect, and at this time, there doesn't appear to be any road rage incident.
Despite you saying that the suspect is cooperating with your investigators, the judge did order a competency evaluation for him, and the mental health services have been brought up by both the defenders and his bench. How does that further complicate the investigation moving forward, given any possibility that could come out of this?
Well, none of that's going to complicate the continuance of our investigation, and that's all a court proceeding.
Was he under the influence of anything?
There's no indication of anything like that at this time.
Sheriff, as far as the previous incidents at other box stores, can you talk about that a little bit more? How many possible incidents or what locations?
So that's a lead that we're trying to follow up on, and that's not a confirmed situation. So that's why we're asking anybody with any possible information to contact us.
Can you speak at all to what he was doing before the fatal crash? What he was doing in the parking lot?
No, I cannot. No.
What do you know if he was parked before the fatal crash, or if he came in from the road and continued driving?
Right. So there's a lot of questions that you guys are going to ask that I will not start answering just because it's going to be part of the court case, and it's important that we make sure that we protect his rights as much as anything else. I appreciate everybody coming here today, and I'm sorry that there's probably more questions that you have than I will be able to answer today, but I thank you again for coming in here.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.